That's why I don't read the newspaper. Because it's garbage. And the editor that let it come out is garbage.
It's Division I football! Go play intramurals, brother. Go play intramurals.
But, you know, I am going to try, and there will be some people inconvenienced. And if it happens to be their fat little girlfriends, too bad.
Twitter, radio.
Yeah, I'd give a rat's ass about Twitter.
All right, we're back. Welcome to the Jake and Bake Show. We took last week off. I had some personal things I had to go up to New York and deal with. Dude, this past weekend was crazy. I mean, the week before that, I don't even remember because of how crazy this past weekend in college football was. With South Carolina upsetting Georgia in Georgia, number 3 in Georgia in double overtime.
Yeah.
What an upset. I mean, that was awesome.
That upset was insane, especially with Blankenship missing Mr.
Missing
Automatic
field goals.
Well, dude, the craziest thing, I thought South Carolina was going to blow that game because
I think Georgia thought South Carolina was going to blow that game.
17-17, he misses a game-winning field goal, go to overtime, they get the fumble, game-winning field goal again, misses it again, go to double overtime, finally makes it, and then Blankenship misses it to lose.
What a crazy game. And
it's
you know
insane.
what? For all the softies out there that complained that they took the hedges and were doing
they
did like the
chewing the hedges
chewing the hedges.
Yeah.
They actually South Carolina actually apologized for that. Bro, if you need them to apologize or if you think you have to apologize for that, just don't play or don't be a fan of football. Like it's a competitive sport. There's no room for softness. Like get out of here with that. Get out.
Yeah.
I don't want it's just like the horns down. If you get sensitive about horns down, I mean, let me know on Twitter.
Dude, I mean, the thing is they're just doing it to do it. I mean, it's not like they really ruin the hedges. I mean,
it happens every time. Every time Georgia gets beat at home, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Look, you're a program where people, when they beat you, want to do that. That means you made it.
Yeah.
Like, you should want people to do that. If they beat you and they're not celebrating, that means you suck. Like, when people beat Tennessee, they don't celebrate.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you should always beat Tennessee. Like, you know, like you just, it's one of those things where if someone is celebrating them beating you, that's because you are someone, you know, you are a prominent organization, you know, because they wouldn't celebrate beating you if they, you know, if it didn't matter.
Yeah.
And because it was such a big upset, you know, at home, they're number 3. They're looking to be, you know, one of the SEC teams that make it into the playoffs, if not one of the 2 SEC teams, knowing how this committee is.
Yeah.
You know? So it was just a huge upset. It was a huge blow for the SEC, I think, because now it's probably just going to be whoever wins the SEC being in. I don't think they'll get a...
You don't think they'll get
no,
a
I don't
second
think
one?
because I think Florida's going to lose a game. I think Georgia will end up beating Florida.
I mean, the only thing about the SEC is LSU, Bama.
Well, I mean, that's just the West. I'm saying the East, if Georgia already has a loss.
Yeah,
Georgia,
the East
if they
done.
go and play Florida and they beat Florida, Florida's not going to get in, you know?
Yeah.
So with Georgia having a loss to South Carolina, an unranked team at home double overtime, they're not going to get in, even if they win. If they would have to win the SEC to get in, and I just don't think they will do that. I don't think Georgia. After that game, I think Georgia is the fluke that we thought everyone else was.
Especially if, like, say,
LSU
wins out besides, you know, beating Bama. Say LSU loses to Bama. Bama goes undefeated, wins SEC title. Well, you're going to take a one-loss LSU team or a one-loss Georgia team, and LSU will have probably the better resume.
For sure. Right now, they're the only team, I think, with 2 top 25 wins.
Well, and the thing is their only loss would be to Bama.
Yeah.
So, who won the SEC? You know.
Yeah.
So that I think that's the problem that they run into.
I actually texted you that though. That Georgia is the fraud team that I thought Auburn and Florida. Well, I thought Auburn was. They were, and I think Florida is. That's to be determined.
Yeah.
But Georgia is the fraud team that we actually everyone missed.
Yeah.
Everyone missed that. I don't think anyone thought. I think everyone thought Georgia was somewhat legit.
Yeah.
And now they're just not. I mean, they're just not. There's no way to spin it. I don't think Georgia is legit this year after that. The other team that's not legit is, and we've been saying it all year, at least I have, Notre Dame. I mean, Notre Dame barely beat USC at home. I think they were at home.
Yeah.
They won 30-27. I mean, I get it. It's a rivalry game. But, like, Notre Dame, you suck. You're just a fraud team. Like, you can't beat good teams. You just can't.
Yeah.
And they wanted that.
Was...
They wanted a moral victory in almost beating Georgia. I wonder if they still think it's a moral victory. Like, is almost beating Georgia a moral victory still? Because they just lost to a shitty team. If that's a moral victory, what's going on? What's a real victory?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because you could say losing at all is a good victory. Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And then moving on, obviously we just talked about it a little bit. LSU beat Florida. They beat them pretty significantly. It was 42-28. I texted you. I saw a stat. Florida hadn't let up a score, I think. It might have just been only a touchdown, but I'm pretty sure it was a score in the fourth quarter at all this season. They got pummeled in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
In the end of the third.
That red zone just killed them.
LSU just dialed it in the late in the second half.
Well,
they dialed it in, and then
Florida did that typical
full throttle.
I don't know what they were thinking. They have Trask at quarterback, who's slow, who might have banged up his knee, and then on 4th and goal, you run speed option with your quarterback, who you know is slow, who has got a banged up knee, and you run speed option and you get stuffed. It's like, I don't understand what these teams think of, like, oh, we're just going to do this kind of weird razzle that, like, speed option's not going to work on the 1 yard line. You're going to get stuffed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's just crazy.
Yeah, and then so LSU actually moved up to number two. So it goes Bama, LSU, Clemson, Ohio State, OU, Wisconsin, Penn State, Notre Dame, Florida, and Georgia to round out the top 10. So there's a little bit of shakeup. I mean, the Big Ten's got 1, 2, 3 in the top 7. That's pretty good. I mean, obviously Bama, LSU is top 2, so that's kind of hard to. But one of those teams is going to fall because they got to beat. One of them is going to beat each other.
Yeah, they got to play each other.
The other big game this weekend was the Red River game. OU Texas.
OU Texas.
I unfortunately had to root for Texas. I hate when I have I know you like to root for Texas for some reason.
No.
Yeah, you do.
I hate Texas, but
the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
That's me this weekend with Penn State. But the Red River game, I had to root for Texas. I was really pulling for them. They stayed in.
Really, it was a really sloppy game.
Yeah, it was so sloppy, and they kind of stayed in it.
Texas offense was terrible.
They were in it just enough to keep fans that were watching entertained, or at least in tune. But there was points where I was like, I don't really care to watch this game because I know what's going to happen.
Yeah, Texas defense fell apart there a little bit.
But
they honestly, I think the biggest takeaway. Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
What did that say to you for Jalen?
The biggest takeaway from that game is that that's the first time that Jalen has moved down in the Heisman rankings. That Joe Burrow's the new number 1 in Heisman contenders. The fumble is kind of a fluke. Like, he just wasn't holding the ball right and fumbled running. Yeah. Like, that's kind of understandable. The pick, though, was terrible. That was a really bad decision.
It was.
And
other than that, what did you think of? I mean, I say this, I use this loosely. Playing a legit defense in Texas, they might be one of the more legit teams that OU will face.
The best defense that they've played so far.
And might even play the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Big 12 is not known for great defenses. Yeah. Texas is usually one of the better ones.
Yeah. Maybe.
What did that
Iowa
say to you?
State, maybe.
What did it say to you for as a somewhat legit defense?
Yeah, I mean,
other than the pick and that fumble.
I mean, they did pretty well for the most part. Because if you break it down from a scheme standpoint, Texas did everything that they need to do. I mean, the hard thing is you just can't guess right every time. You can't always cover the counter play and the QB power to the other side and CD coming across the middle.
Yeah,
it's
having CD, and obviously with Jalen and his running, it is hard.
From a scheme standpoint, they did really well because if you go back and look at it, like most of OU's stuff they did either was off a breakdown where Jalen would scramble out of the pocket and then eventually someone would get open and throw him the ball. Or they did the razzle dazzle. They did the flea flicker to CD where he took it to the house. And so, like, there's a couple of gimmicky things that they ran to kind of overcome it. But, yeah, I mean, it showed a little kink in their armor of that. If you can stop them a couple of times, or you might struggle.
Yeah, well, with my prediction at the beginning of the year, Texas now has 2 losses. I needed Texas to have 2 losses. Didn't really matter to who.
Yep.
Now I need OU to get beat twice. It doesn't matter. I don't care by who. They just need to get beat twice before they go. Well, even in the Big 12 championship game, they could get beat there. But I need OU to get beat twice, just for the sake of my prediction.
Yeah.
I need the Big 12 to not make the playoffs. I just need it.
Yeah,
And also because I think it would be very fun.
I know. The thing is that's like this upcoming week they play West Virginia at home, and they're like 32 point
I saw.
favorites
I
or
think it moved
something.
down to 28.
or 28.
Yeah, it might.
Either
be 28,
way, I
but
mean
whatever.
that's a
it's
blowout.
still
That's
a
four.
blow-
That's
yeah,
4 touchdowns.
It's a huge spread for them this weekend.
And people were saying it's like a trap game and all this stuff, but I'm not buying it, dude. West Virginia is not good. It's
No,
28-point
no.
spread.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just not gonna. I don't
just
because
because of coming off a big win, I understand, but like you should just be able to out talent West Virginia, especially at home.
Yeah, 100%.
You know,
Heading into this weekend, actually, we didn't do picks last week. Like I said, I had to go take care of some personal stuff.
Yep.
So we didn't. I didn't get any picks in. You did, but we're gonna just say they're
Yeah, I'm
unofficial
not gonna
picks. We're
count
not
'em.
gonna count them just because there was a lot going on. But heading into this weekend, you're up 31-23
yep.
for our points for the whole season throughout all the weeks that we've done. Don't forget, a lock gives us 1 point, a dog gives us 3, and a dog's got to be a +10, and then our game day pick gives us 2 points.
Yep.
We can do a super dog. They got to be +17. That gives you 5, but you're risking 1. If you don't hit, you lose a point.
Yep.
So, what's your lock this week?
My lock this week is a fraudulent team versus
Oh.
a fraudulent team.
Oh, I love fraud teams, dude. I love fraud teams. Let's see
I'm
it.
taking Florida -5 at South Carolina.
That's your lock. All right. I
Yeah.
can see it. I was actually considering that game too because I was like,
Well,
South Carolina's coming off a
I'm
huge
thinking
win. They're burnt out. Florida needs to figure out a win.
Florida is coming off a big loss
Yep.
at LSU. They're going to get all their momentum and juice back because they're playing,
They're playing a
they're
team
looking
that-
they're looking to kill somebody after
Yeah,
that LSU loss.
And
And South Carolina is off such a high of beating
Well,
Georgia.
and also they might be burnt out, but at the same time, being only a 5-point favorite for Florida, that's crazy.
yeah.
That's a sneaky South Carolina could pull that out.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
That's a tough lock. 'Cause
it's fraud versus fraud.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
we'll
you're
see
right.
what happens.
a bunch
They're
of fraud teams in the SEC.
They're both.
My lock
sketchy.
is my lock's 14 Boise State. They're a -6.5 at BYU. I just I don't know. I think I've been going against BYU all season except for 1 week that I picked them, and they screwed me. I don't think they didn't cover when I picked them. So
That's a good pick. I
in
like that.
respect,
Boise State.
I will take Boise State 6.5. I think that's just.
Boise
I don't
State's
think that's
doing
enough.
well.
I actually think it should have been like a 10-point spread.
Yeah.
So my lock is 14 Boise State at BYU. Going into our dogs, I'll give my dog first. It's a game that I thought maybe we would put it on game day as a game day game, but just for consistency's sake, we'll just leave it at 3 games this week. There's a lot going on, and next week maybe
I will tell you this.
And we're getting into the part of the season where there's going to be a lot of ranked games.
Yeah.
So we might have a lot. We might not be able to do every game where both teams are ranked as a game day game, just because there's going to start being quite a bit of them. So
Yeah.
my pick is 17 Arizona State plus 13.5 at Utah.
Yeah.
Utah's ranked 13th. I don't know if Utah. I don't think they're a fraudulent team. I just don't think Arizona State is getting the credit that they should be getting.
Yeah.
I thought.
I'm right
remember
there
at the
with
beginning of
you.
the season, before the season started, I told you that freshman quarterback was going to be kind of good. I thought, I was like, hey, he's going to be decent, because I can't remember the exact stat I was telling you about, but there was his high school stats. You know, they looked really good, and Herm Edwards ended up putting him at the starting quarterback as a true freshman. And so I was like, hey, dude, like he might not be good right off the bat, but I think they're in the middle.
They will be good.
Yeah, I think they're gonna figure it out and start clicking. And I think this game is gonna be huge for them on the road in Utah. They're a plus 13.5 dog. That's my lock, or that's my dog this week. That's my dog.
Yep. The second I saw that game, I knew you were gonna pick that game.
Really?
Because I looked at it and was gonna pick it too, because I was like, oh yeah, it's the same scenario. Utah's always kind of inflated in the Pac-12. They always get in like that teen ranking, 18, 15, whatever, and then they fall apart. And then I looked at that game, knew you were gonna pick that game, so I picked something else. I've played mental gymnastics, and so I was like, you know what, I'll give that game to you, and I'm not gonna be that guy to take that game. So I'm taking Old Dominion. Old Dominion plus 16 at UAB.
Damn.
Yeah, it's
plus 16.
Yeah,
that's actually surprising that UAB is the favorite.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not saying Old Dominion.
UAB is favorite. Yeah,
I'm not saying Old Dominion is great, but I didn't think UAB would be a favorite. I thought, and especially not like that. I thought I thought that would be that game just sounds to me like a pick'em game.
It's
or like
because
a 3.5 spread.
UAB is like 4-1, but they don't really have many games. Like all their games are close. Like they beat Georgia Southern by like 3.
Shout out Georgia Southern.
They beat
that team.
They beat a couple teams by like literally possession. I think they have
State that had that big upset at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, Georgia State.
Tennessee.
Yeah.
Damn, I love Georgia State.
Either way, it doesn't matter.
It's not Tennessee, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
but
Tennessee, you suck.
They had like 3 or 4 games they won by possession, so like they're a little fraudulent in the record of being 4-1. You know, and then Old Dominion is like 1-4. But they've played the exact same teams and done the exact same thing. They've lost by like a possession. So I almost took Old Dominion last week, and they covered last week. So I'm hoping they carry on that and cover this week.
All right. I mean, that's solid. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see how our dogs play out, because they are like games where, I mean, I haven't looked into BY or Old Dominion or UAB as much as you just said you did.
Yeah.
But I do think Arizona State and Utah, I think that was just going to be a good game.
Yeah, well, Arizona State, we catch
think
those games. The problem is we don't watch Old Dominion.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
those games
Pac-12 at night is where it's at.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just like...
It's the only thing that's on.
Yeah, well, yeah.
9:30 game.
But it's also like Pac-12 at night. You kind of got to watch it.
Yeah.
But so moving on to game day. Game day is 16 team up north. I can't bring myself to say them this week. At Penn State, number 7. I'm taking Penn State. They're a -9 favorite. I'm taking Penn State.
Yeah. Because you take Penn State, I'm taking Michigan.
You fucker.
Yep.
I should have known that.
Yeah.
I mean, you knew who I was taking.
You
knew how I was taking.
I got to go against the grain. I knew you were going to take that, and I could have been cheap and taken it, and that way, no matter what, you couldn't get the points. But you know what? I'm going to go.
I respect that, but I'm just going to let you know right now you're wrong. Penn State, this actually could have been my lock. Penn State is winning this game. And Penn State is going to cover that by a significant amount. Penn State's winning that game.
I did not look it up, but I hope it is not homecoming. Because if it's the whiteout,
tough luck.
If it's the whiteout, then we might be in trouble.
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Yeah, might be a little bit in trouble.
So yeah, I'm taking number 7 Penn State at home -9 against the boys up north.
Yeah.
I actually just the little boys up north. They ain't good. I do think I do think Harbaugh. I can never remember if it's John or Jim Harbaugh that's up there. Whichever Harbaugh it is. I think he's done, dude. I mean,
yeah.
This season is not going the way they expected.
Well, if they lose this game, they're in real big trouble.
Oh yeah, they're done for the season. They're not getting playoffs if they lose this game.
Well, because if they lose this game, they'll have 2 losses, and they still haven't played Ohio State.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is like...
But, speaking of...
I feel like at the end of the day, like, even if they lose this game, if they somehow beat Ohio State, that's like Harbaugh's only thing to like hold his career up.
Yeah.
Is if somehow he can beat Ohio State,
Isn't that crazy?
he'll stay no matter what.
7 years, and it would take his biggest win and best thing on his resume would be that. Isn't that crazy? It's like Urban Meyer had a national title. Like Urban Meyer wouldn't even care about. I mean, obviously, being undefeated against them is awesome. It's awesome, but
Yeah.
that's not his most prominent.
He came
That's not his most
about
prominent-
that close though.
Yeah, but his most
Harbaugh-
prominent statistic or attribute is that he won a title. He won a national title.
But I can't
Harbaugh
remember.
would be saying like, "Hey, we beat someone.
Yeah.
Like we just won a game.
yeah,
know?
because it was that
Not just a game. It's a huge rival."
that fourth down in overtime.
Yeah,
His overtime fourth down. JT Barrett got stopped right at the line,
and we were still over.
They
was
gave it to
overtime.
him.
Yep.
and then Samuel ran the sweep for the touchdown.
You know, looking at some more games, Ohio State is going into Northwestern. I am not worried about this game, but I will say Northwestern, for some reason, always gives teams that are doing good trouble at some point in the season.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter how good they're doing. For some reason,
Northwestern's got a good
go
defense.
to Northwestern always plays in a way that scares you. They give you a little whoa, you know?
yeah.
But so I'm confident we will. I don't even know what the spread is. I think the spread's like 27 or 28.
Yeah. Well, you got to think Northwestern. They have such a good defense that if they kind of force you to play conservative, if you go out and play aggressive, you throw a couple picks and then they're really in the game.
yeah.
but-
I
but
don't
I
think,
still
I don't
think
think
Ohio
their
State's-
defense. I don't think their defense is better than Michigan State, and
Yeah.
we kind of overcame Michigan State.
Yeah.
Pretty well after the first quarter or so.
Yeah, they're screwed.
But you know who I am? You know what's going to be a good game, and I think it's next week. It might be the following: Wisconsin, Ohio State.
Yeah,
That is going to be a damn tough game.
yeah, that's gonna
That's
be
going to be a
insane.
very tough game. I'm excited for it because it's just going to be a good game throughout. I hope. I hope we could blow. I would love to just blow them out. But I do think it's going to be I do think it's going to be a close game, and it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be, ground and pound, ruthless, tough game.
Yeah, that's
But Tennessee goes into Bama this weekend, and sorry to say Tennessee, and I actually am rooting for Tennessee big time. I'm rooting for Tennessee to win, not just cover the spread. I don't know what the spread is. I'm rooting for you, Tennessee. I'm rooting for you. But you're probably gonna get fucked. You're probably gonna get destroyed.
yeah. That's gonna be a slaughter.
They just beat Mississippi State and they're celebrating that.
Yeah, I mean, Bama is on cruise control right now. You can just tell that.
Yeah, they don't even need to do good. They just need to win.
Yeah, Tua's out there trying to win the Heisman. Saban's like holding everything down of like, all right, let's not go too crazy. There's no reason to beat these people by 60. Like,
Yeah.
let's just go up, put 45 on the board, and go home.
You know what though? Clemson is a team that they're only in the top 4 because they are the defending champions.
Now, the one thing I will say about Clemson though is that they are scary though. If they play to their potential and they play with, because their defense might be better than they were last year.
I'm not saying they're not good. I'm just saying for the teams they've played this year, which
they've played terrible.
They haven't played up to their potential for all of them, and that's scary. That's actually, I think, more scary than them playing up to their potential. Because if they play up to their potential, we know
they're the best team in the country.
Yeah, they're the best team. But when they don't, which is more often than when they do, they could get beat. Just like Georgia did this past weekend. Georgia got beat because they did not play. Georgia's potential is a lot lower than Clemson's.
Yeah.
And they didn't even play up
I
against
feel like
South Carolina.
no matter what happens, even if Clemson dropped one game, they're still going to get in. Just because they're going to be...
I don't even know. I don't know about that.
Well, you got to think, 12-1,
I do not
ACC champion, defending national champion.
ACC championship game against Wake Forest. Clemson loses it to Wake Forest. Do they get in?
don't know.
Or
At that
UNC,
point,
whoever they play in the
Yeah.
championship game,
Yeah.
they lose their
if
only
they
game.
lose the title and are not champion,
Do they get in? I say no.
They
It's too
might.
late. Too late.
They
in the
might.
Too late in the season. Too big of a game to lose. Like no.
Because the thing is that it's what ESPN's done is that they put the 4 best teams in, regardless of what. Because everybody wants to talk strength of schedule and all this stuff like that. What's going to happen is they're going to sit there, and Clemson will have 1 loss. They're in the championship game, and they'll get, okay, who's the 4 best teams, and they're going to put Clemson in. They're going to say
I do
Clemson is
agree
better
with that
than.
aspect. I just don't think they should.
You know what
If
I mean?
If they lose the
if it's
championship game,
between like Georgia and Clemson, and they're both 1-loss teams, and both of them don't have a title or, whatever, they're gonna probably say the hard one would be if LSU loses to Bama, and then LSU's a 1-loss team, and then Clemson's a 1-loss team, and then you're like, oh, that's tough.
both without a conference title.
Yeah, that one.
That
is-
would be a tough one. That I think
LSU
LSU would get the bump
I think LSU
because
would get in.
they beat ranked games on the road.
Yeah, their schedule's way.
They went to
way
Texas,
harder.
won at Texas. They
Like,
went to the
way
Swamp, won
insane.
at the Swamp.
And they don't have a lot of kinks in their armor. Their
Yeah.
offense is good, defense is good. They play everything well.
Yep.
Like it's that's what would be a tough game.
And
but,
kind of to round it out, you got your homecoming game this weekend.
yep.
What are your
America's
thoughts?
Greatest
What's it?
Homecoming.
I mean, let's hear it.
Well, America's Greatest Homecoming. Everybody.
Oh, wait a
gets-
second.
gets-
Rewind. All right, I'm gonna have to cut that out. Not the greatest homecoming. Chill out.
That's what we call it. That's the name of it.
Yeah, but that's not.
America's Greatest Homecoming.
They're uneducated.
I mean, hey, it's what it's called.
Anyway.
But anyway, we're 3-point favorites to an undefeated team.
Yeah, which I actually
Because
saw and
it's
I thought that was
homecoming.
crazy.
Yeah, it's because it's homecoming, and we usually always play well at
Do
homecoming.
you think you should be a dog?
Should we be a dog?
Honest truth.
Honest truth, we should be a dog. We're a 2-loss team playing an undefeated team. Even though it's at home, like Stillwater's not a top 5 venue.
You win
to,
this
like,
game.
play
do
at
you
in
get
difficulty.
Do you get ranked?
I don't know. I mean, probably.
Maybe 25th, 24th.
Yeah, maybe. I
Maybe,
mean,
depending on who
I
falls
doubt
out.
it.
Depending on who falls out.
Honestly, I doubt it. Even if we won this game by 40, we still probably wouldn't be
Okay.
ranked.
All right. Well, I mean,
But 3
Hope-
points is nuts.
hopefully
That's-
you guys are coming off a bye week, and so is Ohio State. Ohio State had a bye week as well.
Well,
we
didn't
play
even-
Friday.
and we didn't even talk about that. We played Texas Tech, played terrible in Lubbock. I don't know what our problem in Lubbock is.
Yeah, you know what? I forgot we didn't talk about that. That was abysmal. That was disgusting.
That was terrible.
I cannot. I just remembered everything about that game. I cannot believe that Gundy left in Sanders.
Oh,
after
so
all
I
that.
figured that out that Drew Brown had a broken finger.
Really?
So what supposedly is what the word on the street is that's
so he didn't play him because his backup was a little hurt.
I mean,
little
it's
banged up.
Gundy though too, so he probably just didn't
Still,
play him.
nonetheless, to leave if he wasn't hurt and you left
Yeah.
him in after all those
Five
turnovers.
Five
But
turnovers.
I mean, in the first half, we even said it. Hey, if he comes in the second half, it's not good. Like he should
Yeah.
not come out in the second half.
yeah,
But
that was,
you know, they made that choice. You guys ended up losing that game, which you guys actually you guys had a little bit of a chance at the end.
yeah,
there.
got that onside
yeah,
kick.
the onside
and-
kick, and you're like, whoa, wait
we
a
were
second,
cooking.
holy, yeah, we
Yeah.
might actually have something here.
Yeah,
But you ended up not. You went into your bye week. Now you're going to homecoming.
yeah,
You have fun at that game. You know, hopefully you guys ended up winning it. I'm rooting for you guys. Obviously, I've been rooting for little brother OSU all season long.
yeah.
And I will be unless you guys, for some reason, somehow play a team of mine.
Oh, trust me, I'm rooting for Ohio State because you guys
We
are
would
in the
be the
table of
bomb.
kicking OU out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so you kind of got to root for us.
yeah, I'm kind of
Yeah,
forced.
so I guess you're rooting for big brother OSU. I'm rooting for little brother OSU. I'm rooting for
the real OSU.
No. You root for the real OSU, which is this one. I root for the fake OSU, which is
I root for OSU. You wrote for TOSU.
put some respect, exactly. And with that, this week is done. We're heading into what week is this anyway?
Week 8.
This is week 8. Let's see what week 8 brings us. Next week we'll have a better show with some recap and actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, we got to talk a little bit of baseball. I kind of want to talk baseball. Washington Nationals are going into the World Series. They swept the St. Louis Cardinals, which is actually surprising to me. I thought that series would probably go 6 or 7. I thought the Cardinals would win it. They didn't win a single game.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, remember when I took UMass and I was like, I need points? They didn't give me a single point. They put a goose egg up. But the Yankees fucking dropped Game 3 last night or Tuesday night. Yankees dropped Game 3. I don't know what's going on. Aaron Boone is taking out the bullpen pitchers way too early. Chad Green, in Game 2, Chad Green had 2 perfect innings, I think it was, and they took him out. It's like, dude, put him back out there.
I want to know about your opinion on, do you think it's beneficial to have all that time off and get rest? Or do you feel, are you one of those people that on the opposite side of the fence thinking, because, the Nationals swept, so now they're resting for the, World Series. Do you think
they also get an extra day because tonight's game got postponed?
Yeah.
And tonight's
they're going to get a lot of extra time.
I say tonight.
Do you think that
game 4 got postponed to Thursday night?
Do you think that pushes you out of rhythm and hinders you, or do you think it helps you?
So here's the thing. With the Nationals, they are such a pitching dominant team that I actually think it's going to help them more.
Yeah.
Because their arms are going to be able to rest. Their bullpen gets that rest. Their starting pitchers get the rest.
Yeah.
They're going to come. I don't think while their offense did do good, they put up a lot of numbers. Their pitching staff is what?
Yeah, what
their
got
pitching
them there.
staff is why they're there. Really.
Yeah.
I mean, they got Max Scherzer, Strasburg, they got Corbin, and then the rest of their bullpen. I mean, they're not a joke. And when Scherzer gets all this rest and he's 100% ready to go, same with Strasburg.
Yeah.
I mean, that's scary for whoever faces them, whether it be Houston or New York. Obviously, I hope it's New York. But New York needs to they need to tie this series up 2-2. I mean, they're down 2-1 in the series, and come on, people, like you let Houston take a 3-1 lead. That's tough. It's tough to come back from that, especially when you have to go back to Houston for Game 6 and 7.
This is do or die,
dude. This is do or die. Yeah, this is do or die. Do or die. This must win. Game 4 must win. There's no way else to say it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be watching Game 4 sure. I'll be watching all the games because they're all. I mean, from here on out, we have to win. We cannot give Houston the advantage sending the series back to Houston. We just can't afford it. Justin Verlander's getting extra rest. Zach Greinke's they're all getting extra rest because of this one day delay. So now it's going to be Greinke and Verlander getting the bump for Game 4 and 5, and that's tough, especially if we have to go back to Houston and face Garrett Cole, Game 6. So tough. I don't know what our bullpen is good, but for some reason Boone is fucking that up. He's really screwing us. I think they got to figure that out. They really do. And before I start ranting on baseball, we're just going to wrap this up. And stay tuned next week. We'll talk about what happened week 8. We'll be further into the series for this thing, so it honestly might even be over by then. Talking about baseball, might talk NBA. NBA starts, so we'll talk about NBA.
This weekend, homecoming is basically the spring game for college basketball.
Yep.
So college basketball is ramping up.
Yep. So we got a lot to talk about. We might even start, getting in. We'll start doing other sports. Let us know. My Twitter handle is TheBakis here. Mention me and see what your thoughts are on what you want to hear for different sports, what your teams are for basketball, baseball. Who do you think's going to win the series for baseball? Who's your basketball team? Who do you think's going to win the title for any of it? Let us know. You're at what? At Jake Cart?
Yep.
At Jake Cart. Let us know. Hit us up. We'll do it. See you next time.